Now, the news. A 14-year-old boy in the town of Manchester, Kentucky has upheld the Second Amendment. And what I mean by that is that on February 15th, around 4:30 in the morning, two men forcibly entered the kid's home intending to steal guns. That part is according to the Kentucky State Police. Well, the kid encounters these two half-wits, and they're both holding firearms. So he runs and grabs a handgun and shoots both of them before jumping out of a bedroom window. The 51 and 44-year-old men that were robbing the home were both killed in the altercation. To me, this case is a prime example of multiple things. First, teaching your kids how to handle a firearm safely and effectively is a massive way to help them protect your family. Second, guns are a force equalizer and can even the playing field in a bad situation. I'd love to know how many of you out there are teaching or have taught your kids or intend to teach them how to handle guns safely. Let us know down in the comments. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and I have something pretty big to share with you guys. And it's about Ohio. GunCon has returned for 2025. This year, the event is not in Iowa. This year, the public portion of the event will take place on June 28th at the Twist Drill Building in Cleveland. Tickets will go on sale at the end of March. There's no bad blood between us and Brownells at all. They're great. We just outgrew their facility and had to relocate the event to continue growing and evolving the event. I am super excited to bring it a bit closer to the East Coast. Lots more people can come, and we have even more brands, content creators, and more tickets available than previous years. Keep an eye on the website and this channel for more news. The website is guncon.net. Stay up to date on things. I can't wait to see you guys in June. I am so glad to be able to announce this. It makes me feel so good to be able to tell you guys. How about some new guns? SK Guns is back in the news this week with 4 new ones for us. That's a lot. I know a lot of you guys crapped on their pricing last week for that $7,200 thing, so let's see how this goes for them this time.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Continuing in their Mexican War of Independence series, La Revolution. That sounds French to me. I don't know. We have the Presidente Madero 1911. This one starts life as a Colt government model in 38 super chambering, and SK turns it up a bunch of notches with a high polished royal blue finish, 24 karat gold plated engraving surrounding the Presidente. There will be only 300 of these, and the MSRP is $3,000. SK also has 3 other new ones that are a bit of a sort of cluster of brands in this one. The gun is a 9mm or 45 Springfield Emissary 1911. You also have Agency Arms, Stan Chen Customs, and Doug Turnbull involved for what they're calling the Agent Firecrest. I kind of like that name. Like, what? I crap on names all the time. That's actually a pretty good name. There are 3 flavors. One with a non-ported barrel, a chunk port version, and then one with a para-ordnance style of porting. These are absolutely beautiful. These are gorgeous. I love color case bluing. They also have the AOS or agency optic system for mounting an optic, which is supposed to be pretty good, blah, 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 blah. How much, John? Well, the MSRP here is $2,164 for the non-ported, $2,219 for the para-ported, and $2,249 for the chunk port version. That's definitely a lot more tolerable than the $7,000 MSRP on the Phoenix Trinity collaboration we covered last week. I would love to know if you guys like these or not. Sound off in the comments. In other gun news, a company I hadn't heard of before now called Miller Precision Firearms is releasing a gun called the Ranger 9. This is a double-stack 1911. It seems like that's all that's coming out right now. And it looks like they've got a ton of options. Ben over at Gunscom covered it, and they have options from a standard sort of right-hander setup to fully ambi sight tracking comp setups. It's pretty neat. Lots of stuff going on there. This is apparently still a coming soon thing, but this is a light week of news, so I wanted to show you guys something pretty cool that might be coming out soon. The thing that makes these different than a lot of other guns in this category is that it uses a linkless barrel. That means it disassembles similarly to a striker-fired gun that we're all pretty used to. That's pretty neat if it actually provides any improvement. Like, I'm not really sure what that does for us, but whatever. Supposedly, these are coming in the second quarter of this year, and prices, they'll start at $37.50. For that price, it has some really strong competition. And I hope for their sake it's good and comes with more than 2 mags. I hope you're listening, Miller. With the price tag of that last gun, I kind of got to thinking, I'd love to know what budget 2011 style guns you guys want me to review. We're currently building up a bank of actual review videos, and I know budget guns are something that a lot of you guys care about. So sound off in the comments with what you want to see. I've got the Fusion XP on deck. I've got the DS9, DS Comp from MAC, Military Armament Corporation. And if there are others that you guys want to see, let me know. While you're doing that, let's get a word from this week's sponsor, Medical Gear Outfitters. Whether you're looking to get an IFAK for yourself like the Civilian Medical Trauma Kit, or maybe something a little bit more diverse to keep in your truck like the Overlander First Aid Kit, they've got you covered. They even have one called the Mom First Aid Kit that has everything you can think of for minor boo-boos all the way up to major trauma. These kits from Medical Gear Outfitters will help you stay prepared for anything. And to make it even more affordable than it already is, use the code TGC10 for 10% off at medicalgearoutfitters.com. Big thanks to MGO for supporting TGC. I have their kits in my vehicles for when I'm traveling. I take them with me to the range every time, just in case something weird happens. I want to be ready. And I know you guys do too. So go check it out. Use our code. Let's keep it rolling with this week's Friendly Fire question. If you want to ask me a question, slam it down in the comments. Use the words Friendly Fire so that I can actually find it. A bunch of you guys did last week. That was great. Our question comes from somebody called Little Brother. And he says, how do you feel about a 2011 that uses Glock mags replacing your EDC? Well, I've only ever shot the Platypus. I think there are only a couple of that style of gun out there, but I've only ever shot the Platypus. I haven't shot that Fusion yet as of filming this. I think the concept is neat, and they're probably cool guns, but I don't think either of those two that I mentioned will become an EDC for me because they're both too heavy for that, in my mind. That style of gun would be fine, home defense, competition, just for fun, whatever. But I am very unlikely to pick a 35-ounce gun to carry over all the other options. My current EDC is an HK-VP9, but I'm looking to switch it up for something newer. I've been looking at a few different options. I take forever to decide on stuff like that because we shoot a lot of different guns. We get to try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It makes it more difficult. In accessory news, I found out about an ultra-cheap optic company that's being promoted by Strike Industries. They said they're the exclusive distributor of this. And I'm like, what is this? It's called Hexion Tech, and the optic is called the Seeker. It has an RMR footprint, 4 different reticles, sort of, a motion activation, and the reticles include 308 dot, a circle reticle, a cross, and then a combo of all of them in one. They are saying that there will be optional shrouds to protect the optic coming soon, but here's the thing. It's so cheap, I'm not sure you'd care if it got messed up. The MSRP on this thing is $99. Now, I remember, when I was working at a gun store a bunch of years ago, or even just like 5 years ago, if an optic was that cheap, you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It was junk. Remember those old like True Glow optics you'd see in the clamshell packaging at Walmart? They're probably still there. Those were the cheap end of things, right? They were cheap junk. And this is being promoted by a somewhat reputable company, so I have to assume it's probably not complete garbage, right? Like, we hope? And at that price, I feel like I need to buy one of these things and find out. If you guys say so, I'll buy one this week, and I will beat the ever-living out of it in a video. Moving on from there, another accessory from Dead Air. They just released the Mojave 45. They had the 9, this is the 45. This one is pretty interesting. It's full auto rated, which thankfully seems to be a little bit more standard these days. That's kind of a durability thing. But it also features their Triskelion baffle design, which is their take on a swirling inner geometry to cool and slow down gases as they exit the bore. That's cool. On top of that, it's modular, so you can run it in a shorter configuration or you take the end off and run it tiny. You can do that on something like a handgun, or you could add that back and make it a long boy setup for a rifle. The baffle system itself is made from 3D printed grade 5 titanium, and because of that, this thing is lightweight at 12.7 ounces at full mast. It also carries a price. The MSRP is $1,100. And like a lot of you guys out there, I struggle with the prices of suppressors these days. In this 45 ACP category, this is one of the most expensive. On the low end, you have brands like YHM and JK with cans that are right around $500, $600. Are they as fancy as the top-end cans? No, but I know a lot of us find it hard to pay double the price for a few fancy features. On the flip side, I am very excited to see more interesting geometries and designs being made possible at scale by 3D printing technology, stuff that would be impossible with a CNC machining. And guess what? That's it this week. There's not a ton going on, but I wanted to share stuff with you guys so that you're all up to speed right there along with me. Stay tuned for more about GunCon in the coming weeks, and